Hello gentlemen, today I'm going to break down my favorite pass coverage in Madden 25. So this is a pretty important topic because it's a pass heavy game, zones aren't very good, but I'm going to teach you how to mask some of these weaknesses and improve your defense. But before we dive in, I do need to announce that I dropped my full Vikings defense on acemadden.com last weekend. So the clips that you're watching right now are actually from the Vikings defense. So if you want to scream at your opponent like this, go check out those Blitz Setups on acemadden.com. We have 3-4 odd, 6-1, nickel 2-4 double mug, nickel 3-3 cub, as well as nickel 3-3 odd. So make sure to go become a member. You'll gain access to every single offense and defense that we have on both Madden 25 and College Football 25. They'll definitely help you win more games, and you can use code SKULL for 25% off on your membership. Link to it is in the description as well as the comment section. Okay, now let's talk about the defense. I'll be going over dime 1-4 today. Here's all the playbooks that have dime 1-4. Again, I'm in the Minnesota Vikings defense. If you don't have this formation, you can use dime 3-2. This is going to work the exact same. But I would say you do want one of these formations because you're going to get very favorable pass coverage out of both of them. So I'm going to cover multiple plays today. We're going to start with cover 4 drop because that's going to be our max coverage. But let's start by going to our coaching adjustments and then turn auto flip off, auto alignment on base. And then make sure you have cover 4 drop in your custom audibles. And we're going to come out in the play double safety go. This is very important because what it's going to do is bring your safeties up into the box. So when you press X or square and then RB for cover 4 drop, those safeties are going to stay up in the box. That's going to help with seam streaks. That's going to help in run support because we have this kind of spread look at the defensive line. They cannot run the ball against this front. It's very, very difficult. I know this is a pass defense video, but just look. He's going to shoot the run, and there's really nowhere to go. Okay, now let's talk about cover 4 drop as a coverage. This is the best max coverage in the game. This is better than cover 4 quarters shaded down or up. That's what a lot of people do to get basically cover 4 drop. The problem is it's not cover 4 drop. There are legacy match rules in place, even if you shade your quarters. So that can be taken advantage of. Drop cannot be taken advantage of. These are drop quarters. They are different than cover 4 quarters. Okay, so let's go through some examples so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Remember, we audible from double safety go to cover 4 drop. That's going to bring these safeties up into the box and help you defend seam streaks. If you have them in normal spots, so like way back here, you're going to see it's very easy for them to streak Y or B in this case. Really, any player on the field, you can do the tight end even, and just throw them immediately. And the safety can't play him. Like, he's not going to break on him fast enough to do anything about it. So watch the safety. He's looking at the quarterback. Ball is thrown, and then he's just too far away. He's still 5 yards away from doing anything about this. So that's why we come out in double safety go. The main reason, to get extra support on these seam streaks. The next thing that I recommend that you do is shade your coverage down. So Y or triangle and then right stick down for underneath. That's going to turn your curl flats into hard flats. And it's going to shade your hook curls down as well. That's going to make them play better on drags and slants, routes like that across the middle of the field. And this is going to be your max coverage. Now, it is a 3-man rush, so this isn't going to be like the best pass rush ever. I mean, it was there, but for the most part, it really isn't. But it's good against people who like to get the ball out of their hands very quickly because we have 8 in coverage. And once we mix in the blitzes that I'm going to show you in a second, they're going to start blocking guys. They're going to block the running back, and they're only going to have 4 guys out against 8 people in coverage. And it's just a lot easier to play coverage that way. Right here, it's really just the post getting open, so we can just factor that in. I don't know why Nick Bosa is not rushing towards the passer. But something you can do, let's say you want to actually get better pressure out of this. You can audible to cover 4 drop, shade down, and then blitz one of your linebackers. You are going to be weaker across the middle of the field when you do this. Please keep that in mind. But you are going to get better sheds because we're now rushing 4 at the quarterback as opposed to just 3. Before we move on to the blitz, I do want to show some use cases for switch stick because this is the best switch stick defense in the game by far. So let's show some examples of stopping motion Y post first. This is the most popular play in the game. And I would say the most popular route combo out of it would be putting B on a slant and then quick snapping. So here's a couple examples of how I would defend this with switch stick out of this defense. Take away the slant, go play the return route for a second, come up here, defend the post. There was definitely a window for the post. I'm not going to sit here and act like there wasn't. But the pressure is either going to be in or the ball's going to be out of his hands by now. And you switch sticking around like that, it's just going to make him second guess where he's going with the ball. And I'll show you another way you could do it that might be a little bit more effective. You can maybe put Y on a seam flat. That's going to take away the return route. And then you could do a switch stick up to this guy and take away the post that way. So just another option for you to take away a very popular route combination. I don't know what Nick Bosa is doing. He's like cleaning himself off. Like, bro, get after the quarterback. Thank you. So let's talk about another thing you can do. So let's say they're running a different route combo, maybe something like this, where they have a stemmed corner. When you switch stick to a hard flat, you can effectively come up here and play Mabel coverage on your own. You can take away the sideline with just your user. That's one of the perks of switch stick. You can kind of play a hard flat and a deeper flat at the same time. So I just wanted to show you a couple examples that you can implement against really any kind of offense. Now let's talk about a blitz that you can set up, because as we saw from the 3-man rush and cover 4 drop, that is not something you want to rely on all game. It's just not fast enough. So we're going to use a 4-man blitz that's going to come in clean out of cross 3 fire. And we can set up a very similar pass coverage shell as well. So let's go ahead and put cross 3 fire in our audibles. I do recommend still coming out in double safety go. And what we're going to do now is audible to cross 3 fire. And then we're going to put both safeties into inside quarters. You can run it as a match coverage like this. You're going to be using the right of screen linebacker, by the way. You could also shade your coverage down and play more of a cover 4 drop. But there is the pressure coming in. So it's a lot faster because we do get a free rusher. I do want to mention that there is a tell with this play. This nose tackle is going to shade slightly to the right. I personally don't really care, but some of you might care. So I just thought I'd mention it. But anytime you get a free rusher sending 4, very hard to complain about that. It expedites his throw. You're going to be a little bit weaker over the middle of the field, but you don't have to run this exact shell every single time. You don't have to run like kind of a pseudo cover 4 drop. You can mix in this as well. Let's see how this 3-rec plays the post. I'm actually curious about it. So plays it decently. He kind of gets underneath it. Let's have a look at it. He might be a little too shallow. So like right here, I would say a high ball, probably open. But he does kind of make it a scary throw, I would say. And then just to show you, you can technically run this with the other looper, so you can use the left side linebacker. I would put the tight end side safety on a quarter just so you don't get seam streaked. But you can get pressure like this too. I'd say it's less common, but this is a good change up. Like this is going to be good for you to do sometimes. So there's the pressure, it comes in off that side too. So you don't have to use the right of screen linebacker. It's going to be fine if you use the left one sometimes. Again, just put an inside quarter there against trips tight end flex. Just make sure you don't get seam streaked. You do not want to give that kind of throw up because that's just how they move the ball easily. You're not really contesting something that's very easy for them to stare down and throw at. So make sure we utilize these safeties that are up close to the line of scrimmage and challenge every single throw. Anyways, that's it for the tip. Hopefully this helps you guys play better pass defense. If you have any questions whatsoever, just drop them in the comment section. And then make sure to go become a member on acemadden.com. Go check out that full Vikings defense. We have a ton of blitz setups out of there that are going to help you get pressure at the quarterback every single snap. Use code SKULL for 25% off on your membership. See you guys in the next one.